If you ever want to relive the glory days of when the bottom path heli was king, well, today is the video for you. Because we're going to be max buffing the bottom path heli, starting with the mob shove as you see right now, going all the way up to the Comanche commander. I say glory days because, just for the uninformed, back in update version 1 or version 2, the Comanche commander was the most broken tower in the game. It could just solo everything. Comanches just went wild with the damage, but it got knocked down a fair amount, and since then it stayed like as an okay tower. I guess until recently, where it's kind of made a resurgence again. Because it turns out it's actually a pretty good tower when paired with buffs. Not even a whole lot of them. So you can imagine if we give it, well, a lot, then I would say this is one of the remaining towers I have not tested yet that will probably do pretty well. I've already seen upwards of 15,000 damage per second. DTs are a little bit of an issue, but luckily we have a little bit of shoving power. Single target damage looks to be about 800 on this bat here. And because we have so many attack speed buffs on this thing now, you can really see those explosions come to play with the mob shove. This was added quite a while ago at this point, but technically the purpose of these explosions were to not allow the mob shove to stall as much. Because previously, without the missile, this thing would be too good at stalling rounds forever, so that was added as an anti-stalling mechanic. But also gladly take the extra damage it provides. Not that it's really going to do a whole lot, considering I feel like the rapid shots of the quad darts are doing most of the work. So this is every practical buff in the game on it so far, including Travolta's items, which is unfortunate that I'm doing this now, like after the Sharpening Stone does not give damage anymore. It only gives Pierce, which is not really going to help against our single target. Anyways, the performance of this thing shouldn't be that surprising right now, because I think I tested 102 not long ago, and it got to around 38. But of course, that +1 or the -1 damage now might be a difference maker between us not making it to 138 anymore. Let's just take this round slowly and see. So just keeping the heli in a straight line, trying to utilize the power of the shove too. And we're gonna barely be able to get through this round. Yeah, I figure we're gonna die the same round again. 138, if you didn't know, is simply round 128 on steroids, because it's like triple the amount of time. Triple the time that DTs are for, but who knows? Again, best spot is to keep it here until it's chasing again. In which case, I think we give up. Right, yeah, it's not even close right now. So let's see now with the power of the Comanches. How will it do? So what you want to do with the Comanche to, of course, make it a lot of rounds is do not let the Comanche spawn all 3 planes out immediately. Because it comes out in sections. See, now 2 come in. And then once balloons get 75% across the track, then 3 come in. But if you activate 3 immediately when the round starts, then you only get 15 seconds of it, which I guess is the downfall of this heli pilot. Like, we're probably not going to make it very far at some point due to us hitting 75% and there being balloons left over. And then it'll just be as bad as well, the 103 upgrade. Luckily this time, we did just fine. Also, good time to mention that I know that Overclock and Perm Brew don't work on the mini Comanches. That's probably one reason why it took so long for me to get this one. Because I think because of the lack of Overclock and Perm Brew on the mini Comanches, it probably won't last as long as other towers would. Anyways, just waiting for the first plane to come in. Looks like we basically double our DPS with 1 plane. I don't want to say we're dead here, but I also need to focus the other bat. So let me try to do some smart targeting such that the way my heli is, the dart should be hitting the other bat too. Like this. And here comes maximum DPS, okay? Come on. We have to basically burst all the damage down. Otherwise, it's over for the ZMGs here. I think there's like 5 seconds left. Also, as the patch I'm attempting this on, there is a bug, I know, where you can get 3 Comanches, like, to spawn on the first quarter and the second quarter. But we're gonna do this bugless just to see, and I think round 140 is impossible. I think this will be a very early jump to tier 5 today. Sure, I don't want to bother with the downtime of the Comanche. Don't get me wrong though, it's a great upgrade if you've seen any other video I've done. Just not practical when it's your only tower for damage, that's all. But you see now we're getting up to 5,000 single target. If you want to truly see some high rounds with this thing, we probably have to add those external buffs. Like, usually with these tests, I don't do Glue Storm. But we might just pull an exception for this one, because as you might know, Glue Storm and Comanche is like the greatest duo we've seen since Big Plane and Sada. Although I should clarify, greatest duo for other reasons outside of its power. Anyway, how much single target can we possibly rack up? I can see 50,000 at certain points. So pretty solid, but the fact that it's only around 144 and it's taking a while to clean up basically goes to confirm the lack of overclocks on mini Comanches are killing us guts, because that's like we're missing over 2.5 times taxi right there. Not to mention the permanent brew. So in essence, it's almost like we only have 3 real buffs. The Homeland and the 2 support True Sun God buffs. Also, on this map especially, I think you always want to use follow mouse if you want to maximize damage. Pursuit, I did try it a couple times on logs, and it just does not land the way you want it to. You can't get spread action like this. This is kind of satisfying to look at, not gonna lie. But if it was on Pursuit, it'd be like this, and only hitting 1 of the 3, or 2 of the 3 rather. It's all about the angles here, not as much straight line action required as like the Apache Prime, just because, you know, the amount of helis in the spread here, but still would be nice to get that in as straight a line as possible. We're now looking, I think, a peak of 70,000 DPS. Not only we're gonna hit 6 digits without external help. Damn, even with the mob shove, fortified DDs are menacing. Got to the last lane this round. I don't think we're long for this railed. I'm gonna guess 10 more rounds max, which would actually be one of the lower results, but I have faith. Especially if it's a Tower Yuka micro, there is much more potential than your average tower. More fortified DTs, are we dead? Oof. 1C7. What do you think you can do here? Well, for starters, let's chase those fortifieds and try to get Shove to work on them. Even a little bit helps, like this. There we go. Close, but we hold on. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the Shove stays the same power even with all these max buffs, so it's pretty much working like a normal 103 there. Anyways, I think we're dead. If not to DTs, then to 3 bads, because, yeah, that's getting too deep, alright, although maybe I wasn't performing to the best of my potential. They are grouped, which makes chasing easier, or rather, we should be able to damage a lot of them at the same time. This time I'm trying to focus more, but does that kill me for DTs? Yeah, I'll take several attempts here. Alright, this run. DTs cleared. Let's focus as much bad damage as we can right now. Like, try to angle in a way that it does these... It tries to hit these 2 up here. So basically the target in the heli is always first, if it's close enough for 2 in range. So gotta take that into account without actually dying to, like this. I don't want to rely on just the darts chasing to survive, but maybe that's fine. And now this. Oh, this is so satisfying. This is less satisfying, but satisfying again. Please pop. At this rate, we're actually gonna pop the first bad. Or, yeah, the second and third bad before the first one. I think there's just not enough time. Yeah, if I die to that DT, then there's no way I'm beating the other one, so yikes. Now, as for a fun test, I'd like to show you guys some more of these upgrades of the True Sun God Village, because I guess I never do these, but let's start with the top path tier 3. So Travoldo Goodness now gives permanent Jar Pickle, Sharpening Stone, Invisibility. However, it doesn't include the rate penalty, so now we just get a free +1 damage and +1 fortified. I'm not gonna do the Shinobi and Poplar stack for tier 4. That seems kind of weird, but we will buy these, which just give us a lot of abilities. And now middle path tier 3 will add a Glue Storm and a Firestorm with Heated Up and Embrittlement and Super Brittle. And sure, let's go all with it with the Monkey boost too. We're not gonna tech bot this because that's clearly way too many abilities to be looking at. But let's see how this goes, alright? So if I add Glue Storm, we can now see hopefully a new high in single target, right? 90,000. Alright, I require more. Does Firestorm should be working. Oh wait, and now that I think about it, I probably should have just done Gweneza here instead of Gibraldo, just for the +1. Because I believe it does apply to the mini Comanches, but once again, correct me if I'm wrong about that. Like, that would go so much further than the +2 Pierce now that Sharpening Stone is dead in the water. And also, let's just use a Monkey Boost Replica, just out of curiosity. It shows a Pat buff. Oh wait, sorry, that was the Pat buff. My bad, my bad. Wrong ability, but that will help too. Yeah, Pat was also an option, but I generally don't like Pat that much because his uptime on the ability is very low. Unless, I guess, you surrounded him with water or the Energizer for half cooldown. Alright, so I actually went back and redid the challenge with Gwen as the hero now, just because since that upgrade already gave us the Gibraltar buffs, we might as well now triple dip in the heroes. I did forget to mention that we got Azalea's buff from the Gold Village. Otherwise, that obviously would have been by far and away the best choice if I had to pick a single hero. Well, we got all three of them now, and I'm just kind of curious. Lots of lag, by the way, but it does look like Heated Up is full uptime, because it's after a certain amount of shots on Gwendolyn. Since we have so many buffs on the field with Homeland and all that, well, it makes sense to be basically getting a permanent +1 as long as Gwen is attacking, which is pretty much all the time. We also now have Cripple Mob and all that good stuff. What's crazy is that due to all the buffs we have, this is the amount of range we can get with our Brittle here. It's not even censored yet, it pretty much shoots like all the time. Pretty wild, isn't it? But yeah, Comanche loves damage buffs, as you can see by the fact that on round 180 here, now bads aren't even getting like close to halfway. Well, how about 10 more rounds down the line then? Each dart has to be doing close to like 15 to 20 damage. Not much progress being made on the balloons in 10 rounds, it seems. Let's try to see if we can figure a 6-digit figure damage mark. Yep. Game's moving very slow now, probably because we have like 5 different towers doing massive damage, but we got close to 200k there at one point. Absolutely crazy. How did this Brittle even do 1 million damage? Does this tower even do that much? Maybe it's the ice shards that's adding up. But yeah, crazy that the support tower alone is like hitting 5-figure DPS marks. And this thing is also at 1 million pops. Time for the ultimate DPS test. Round 200. How much can we get? 10,000 per second. I also forgot if Energizing Totem works on, or if I already have the buff on the Golden Village. Apologies as I pulled the tower away, but it doesn't even matter. As you see, it still maximizes DPS this far away. So thank you very much, Rain buffs. I'm inclined to believe that this is currently working, because I saw a noticeable numerical increase. This is now 19,000 single target, and it's like, what, 14,000 without Homeland active and Called Arms. Now I should be focusing on bad number 2 as well, and try to get them straight angles, and we can just let the, I don't know, the darts clean up the ZMGs. Something like that. Easy. And I'm just kind of curious, how far away can I put this heli? Well, pretty much the entire track. Cool. Guess I'll just leave like that then. We're so close to popping it. And if we pop it, Cripple Moab stun is pretty OP, so go figure we're gonna beat the insides there. What's crazy is that we're so unlucky this run. We have back-to-back FBAD, so it's basically round 200 on steroids, but with a bunch of other crap in the way. And we're dead. So hope you got some insight on how strong the bottom path heli is with max buffs. Verdict, it's alright. Click here if you want to see more max buff tests with other towers, and I'll catch you all later.